My beloved child, I know you've looked at the scars in your life and wondered if they tell a story of failure. Every painful memory, every tear, every disappointment has whispered that you were forgotten, abandoned, or somehow not enough. But today, I want you to hear my voice instead of your fear. What if everything you've believed about your scars has been wrong? What if the marks you've tried so hard to hide are not proof that I left you, but proof that I stayed with you through every moment? Stay with me for a few minutes, because before this message ends, I want to change the way you see your story forever. Take a slow breath. You don't have to pretend to be strong right now. You don't need perfect words or a perfect prayer. You only need an open heart willing to listen. Remember this one sentence. The scar is not your identity. It is your testimony. I have watched every moment of your journey. I saw the nights when you cried yourself to sleep, even when nobody else knew you were hurting. I saw the prayers you whispered through tears, wondering if anyone was listening. I saw the dreams that broke your heart and the people who walked away without explaining why. Not one moment escaped my eyes. You have been calling those moments failures. I have been calling them evidence that my grace kept you alive. Some of you carry visible scars. Others carry wounds that nobody can see. A broken relationship. A loved one you still miss. A betrayal you never deserved. A battle with anxiety, fear, loneliness, or addiction. A mistake you wish you could erase. People may never understand what you've survived. But I understand. Every tear mattered. Every prayer mattered. Every battle mattered. You believed those painful memories made you weak. I tell you today, they reveal how faithful I have been. The enemy wanted your pain to become your identity. I want your pain to become your testimony. There is a difference. A wound says something painful happened. A testimony says God carried me through it. Yes, what happened to you was real. The hurt was real. The loss was real. I'm not asking you to pretend it didn't happen. I'm asking you to stop believing that it is the final chapter of your life. Your story is still being written. There were days you thought you wouldn't survive. Yet here you are. That alone is evidence that I have never stopped holding you. Sometimes you looked for miracles while missing the greatest miracle of all. You kept going. When you had no strength left, I became your strength. When you had no answers, I stayed beside you. When everyone else stopped asking how you were doing, I never stopped listening. Your scars do not embarrass me. They remind heaven of my faithfulness. They remind the enemy that he could not destroy what I have chosen to protect. And they remind you that even in your weakest moments, I never let go of your hand. My child, I want you to understand something that can change the way you see your entire life. The world often teaches that healing means there should be no evidence that you were ever broken. But that has never been my way. I have never been ashamed of your scars. I have never asked you to hide your past before coming to me. I have never required perfection before giving you my love. Your scars are not proof that I abandoned you. They are proof that you survived with me beside you. The tears you thought were forgotten have never been lost. My word says in Psalm 56 verse 8, "You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle." Every tear mattered to me. Every silent prayer reached heaven. Every lonely night was seen by my eyes. Nothing you suffered was invisible to me. I also promised in Isaiah 61 verse 3 that I would give beauty for ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. Notice that I did not promise to pretend the ashes never existed. I promised to create something beautiful from them. That is what I have been doing in your life, even when you could not see it. Little by little, I have been replacing fear with peace, replacing shame with grace, replacing hopelessness with faith. Even when the change felt slow, I was still working. Some of my greatest miracles happened quietly. You asked me why the pain lasted so long. I cannot answer every question today, but I can promise this. Your pain will never have the final word. The Apostle Paul understood this truth. In 2 Corinthians 1, he admitted that he felt crushed beyond his own strength. Yet he discovered something powerful, that when human strength ends, my power begins. You do not have to be strong enough on your own. That is why I am here. Stop carrying burdens I never asked you to carry alone. Rest in my presence. Trust my timing. Believe my promises even when your feelings try to tell you otherwise. Remember my son after the resurrection. When Jesus rose from the grave, he still carried the marks in his hands. Those scars were not signs of defeat. They became eternal proof of victory. Even Thomas believed when he saw those wounds. The scars became evidence that death had been defeated. If my son was not ashamed of his scars, why do you believe you must be ashamed of yours? Your story is not ending in pain. Your story is becoming a testimony of my faithfulness. One day you will look back and realize that the place where you thought your life ended became the place where my purpose began. So stop calling yourself broken. Call yourself loved. Stop calling yourself forgotten. Call yourself chosen. Stop calling yourself defeated. Call yourself redeemed. You belong to me. Nothing that happened to you changed that truth. Nothing you lost can separate you from my love. Nothing in your past has the authority to cancel my purpose for your future. So lift your head. Take one more step. Trust me one more day. I am still writing your story. And I always finish what I begin. Father, thank you for reminding us that our scars do not define us. Your love does. Help every person listening today to see their wounds through your eyes instead of through fear or shame. Heal every broken heart, strengthen every weary soul, and replace anxiety with your perfect peace. Give us the courage to trust you even when we cannot understand our circumstances. Let our lives become living testimonies of your grace, mercy, and faithfulness. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ, Amen. If this message spoke to your heart, remember this today. Your scar is not your identity. It is the testimony that God never left your side.